Hi, and welcome back to Community Hotline. My name is Monica Weitzel. We're here in Gresham at MetroEast Community Media. And now for our second interview, we're going to be talking about what color do you bleed? And to talk about this, we have Ken Kane, who's a Stumptown Orange Alumni Club member.
So I bleed orange.
You bleed orange. I see that.
Yeah.
I see that.
Not beaver orange.
Not beaver orange?
Not in this case.
Okay.
But we like Oregon
You don't
State
mind
too.
them.
And Elizabeth Butler, you are the donor recruitment representative with the American Red Cross.
Yes.
Nice to have you both here.
Thank you.
So, Elizabeth, because this is all benefiting the American Red Cross, tell me, if you could, a little bit about why blood donations, especially this time of year, are so important.
Blood donations are important every single day of the year, and we have to come up with creative methods sometimes to keep people engaged. It seems like after some sort of national crisis or man-made disaster or otherwise, people get really excited about doing something to contribute, but what they forget or what they don't stay engaged with is the fact that we need blood donors every single day. Okay. So this is a creative opportunity, kind of bringing out the football fans to engage people in a different way and make them interested and have a little fun with blood donation, I guess.
A little competition going in there too, isn't it?
Yeah, anything that helps get people engaged in a new and different way.
Well, that's good. And, and it's so easy to donate blood.
So
and it has gotten even easier. I know from when I donated when I was 18 to now. Now you just can go online and you just say, okay, I think I could do it this date at this location. Click, click, and it's done.
So easy.
It's done.
And it takes an hour.
There's even an app where you can.
Of course, there's an app for that.
There's an app for everything.
Course.
So tell me about the app, Ken.
Well, this app is available locally. It is personalized, so it has my information on it, and will remind me when my 56-day in-between period is up. Keeps count of all my donations, which no small deal for me.
106.
106. Lot
Impressive.
of donations.
Oh, you've got
there.
me doubled.
Yeah, exactly.
I had
but
some
it's
years
just
there where I wasn't, but
it's an easy way to reconnect with the Red Cross, because they are excellent about calling and reminding you.
Oh, yes, they are.
Right? But this is a way to, I don't want to say circumvent, but to beat them to the past. Head them off at the past. There you
control your own destiny and blood donation.
And it's brand new. It's only been operational for a couple of months, but it's great.
See, I don't have that, so I'm going to have to get that. So what is the app called?
The app is called, well, it actually just comes up as blood donor.
So if I were just to Google blood donor,
right? If you go to
the blood donor app,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna get one of those. That's easy. I can do that.
And it knows the zip code. You tell it, right? The zip code that you're in.
So
I can't get it on my phone, so I'm frustrated not to be able to engage with it personally. But it tells you all of the blood drives in the surrounding areas, which is nice. So
That's great,
we make it convenient for you.
Yeah, I know most of them in the area where I live, but I also sometimes donate out here when I'm, I live in Portland, I work in Gresham, so I'm here in Gresham. I know like the Fairview City Hall often will have one, or sometimes Gresham City Hall, different places, and that makes it easy to be able to just look it up. But on your phone, hey, that's super.
Hey.
You might be driving to work one day and say, I'm really in the mood to donate blood today. Or you just find out your meeting got canceled, so you have a spare hour, right?
Yeah, you have an hour of time. It's
that's all it
pretty
takes.
legitimate
Or you drive
thing
by
to do.
one of those sandwich boards on the road.
Yeah.
Donors
they have
needed.
They have the mobile units often out there. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, they make them easy. So now this what color do you bleed thing? Tell me what that's all about.
Sure. This is the third year for it.
Okay.
It's an annual blood drive. It takes place at McAdams Bar and Grill, which is, at first flush, you'd say that's a strange place for a blood drive. And when we first set it up back in 2012, that was the reaction we got, both from Tally Steele, who's the owner of McAdams, which is in Southwest Portland on Macadam Avenue, right?
That's what I was guessing.
Her reaction was, would they let us do a blood drive at a bar?
You catch them going in instead of coming out.
Yes, that's what we try and do. And so I said to her, let me check with the Red Cross, but this is a way to reach out to a different group at a time of year where they're very much engaged. So I called the Red Cross. I said, hey, I got an idea. I'm with the Syracuse University Alumni Club here in town. We meet at McAdams. There are 20 alumni clubs that are at McAdams on football Saturdays in the fall. What if we had a blood drive at the restaurant that on a Saturday in the fall, and they scratched their heads.
At a bar.
You know, at a bar. Well, we can make that work. And so we started in 2012, very successful, did it again last fall, and we've got it coming up on November 1st. We have alumni clubs representing schools coast to coast, Pac-12 schools, ACC schools, of which Syracuse is one, Big Ten, SEC.
SEC too.
I know, SEC, one of our most dedicated, truthfully, one of our most dedicated alumni clubs for this drive is the Auburn Alumni
Really?
Club here in town. They are great.
Okay, they're all right then.
So, you know, they really are. They're okay. We're going to do it from 11:30 until 5. This is a football Saturday, November 1st. You sign up inside at McAdams.
So you don't need to sign up ahead of time. You,
You
just show
don't,
up.
but you can.
We'd like you to.
Yeah,
You
we
prefer that.
do like it.
It'll make it a little easier, wouldn't it?
We know
if
how
you
to
did?
staff a drive that way.
Ah, yeah, you know how many people they have to get everything running smoothly because you're very efficient. I mean, the Red Cross is very efficient.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like, you go here, you do this station, you do this. You go here, you do this. And it's just smooth as can be.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Science.
So they'll sign in. Even if they have signed up ahead of time, we still have them
check 'em
sign
in,
in,
yeah.
make sure they're there. And then the Bloodmobile is parked in McAdams parking lot. They go outside, go on to the bus, if you will,
Yeah.
and do a wonderful thing for the community because it's important to build up the blood supplies as we head into the holidays.
So come in, you know, schedule it maybe an hour or so before your game starts.
Exactly. And McAdams will have over a dozen games playing that day, starting at 9 o'clock will be the first games.
Okay.
But it'll go all the way into the evening. And yes, what we hope is that you would come in and donate before you settle in and watch your
Right.
game.
Now this picture here that we're looking at here, this is one of the blood blood buses,
Bloodmobiles? Blood
yeah.
buses,
Yep.
yeah.
Absolutely.
And so that's one that was used at McAdams.
Right, probably last year, I'm guessing 2013.
Okay.
And we've got some pictures on the bus, actually, of some of now this is what's going on inside McAdams.
Oh, this is
You know,
inside. Oh,
this is where
like a
people
patio
are-
area? I haven't been there.
People are there to have fun, right?
They're cheering on the blood
They're
donors.
cheering crazy. Yes, they are. We
They're
we
cheering
do
on
what we
blood
can
donors.
for the blood donors, but we're cheering for football here. Meanwhile, on the bus,
there they are.
here you go. And we've got, these are friends of mine and fellow alums of mine who are literally rolling up their sleeves for the greater good.
So is that a Syracuse guy on the left there?
They,
Or is that- what's
I
the
will
S stand
tell
for?
you that that was Dave on the left, Ted in the middle, and Gretchen on the right. And that's Ron on the bus himself, and our immediate past president, Rob White, is standing in front of that graphic, which is on the side of the Bloodmobile. And you know, once you do it, we tend to have repeat customers from year to year, which
yeah.
is a great thing. That's our sign-in table, which we were talking about.
I imagine you
And,
could bring other family members or friends with you.
Oh,
right?
absolutely.
Even if they're not football fans, they could come on in.
but
right?
if
The
they're
more the
blood
merrier.
donation fans, we
Yeah,
will
there you
take
go.
their blood.
I figured
you know.
you would.
Absolutely. And this is things from our alumni club, the Syracuse Alumni Club called Stumptown Orange. Some of the other community projects that we do. We do a couple of community projects every year. Our fall community service is What
this-
Color Do You Bleed? In the spring, we rotate. We do Habitat for Humanity or ivy poles in Forest Park. We were at the Hillsborough Library this year helping them get ready for a sale.
So,
you know.
so the alumni clubs do a lot of things. It's not
do.
just all about what team won the last football game. Huh?
Exactly. I mean, to be truthful, many alumni clubs, ours is no exception, get off the ground because of sports. But our club's been around for 7 years, and we've always had sort of a three-headed, I don't want to call it a monster, but a three-headed approach. Very strong sports component, football and particularly basketball, because that's Syracuse's
Yeah,
main
right.
sport, and lacrosse.
Oh, wow.
Who knew?
Then we do non-sporting events because you know what? There's lots of alumni, and it's not just Syracuse, but alumni from any college who say, if you make me come to a game, I'll never come back. But if you take me to a concert, or you walk me on a trail, or you teach me a little history, then I'll come back. So we have a non-sports component, and then we have a community service component too. And we're, like I said, so many alumni clubs that we collaborate with on What Color Do You Bleed, they have the same basic approach where they want to keep their alumni connected to each other locally, but also it's a great way to connect back to campus. We're 2,500 miles from Syracuse here.
Right.
That's a long way to go. But if you have a community of friends with a common interest, even though maybe they weren't on campus when I was on campus. In fact, I'm doing a fast Rolodex. There's a dated term in my head, and I'm trying to figure out. I was graduated in '75, and I don't think we have anybody in our club who graduated in '75. But we have people from the '70s and the '60s. Actually, we go back as far as 1954 graduation year.
Wow.
And the president of our club currently is. We actually have two co-presidents. One's graduated in '82. The other graduated last year.
Oh, really?
So, you know, we span 6 decades within our club.
That's
and we're not a very big club.
But you're a
we
strong
do bleed
one, huh?
orange.
That's great. So, Elizabeth, obviously in Oregon we have, a couple of, we have several universities, but Oregon and Oregon State are the big rivals, and the Civil War game will be coming up later this next month.
November 29th.
Yes, that's correct. So, can you tell me about that? Because that's a part of the blood drive too. Just a Civil War challenge. How does that work?
It predates me. However, what it seems to me is that they came up with this month-long statewide challenge that asks donors to come out and give blood on behalf of the Beavers or the Ducks. So whichever team affiliation you have, that's a great reason to come out and give blood. Do you bleed orange or do you bleed green? We'll
Right.
take whichever color you bleed.
It's funny. I did that last year, but it's very difficult for me because I went to Oregon State, but my daughter went to Oregon, and I have a very dear friend whose son plays for the Ducks. He plays football for the Ducks, and so I, watching him rooting for him, so I was like, I bleed orange out of this arm and green out of
I was going to say, so Monica, they've got you hooked up
that's
on
right.
both arms.
Orange, green.
Have you ever given double red cells? One unit orange, one unit
I
green.
haven't done that. I've done the hemophoresis, and I've been on a cell panel where they, I used to come in for I had some rare antigens in my blood, and I used to come in every 6 weeks or so. And I've done lots of regular blood donations, but not the double. So is that something we could do?
It is, yeah, and depending on weight requirements and type of blood, so we're looking primarily for O-type donors and then negative type donors.
Okay.
So O negative, B negative, A negative donors, and it's a process that gives us the opportunity to take 2 units of red cells and give all of the other blood components back to the donor.
Okay.
But it's great for patients in trauma situations because we can give them a really intense dose of red cells specifically. Almost every situation that requires a blood transfusion needs red blood cells, so to have a really intense dose of that alone is a real benefit to patients. And it's a great opportunity for donors to save time because donors are eligible 6 times a year. If you give a double dose, you're deferred for double the usual amount of time. So you only need to give 3 times a year instead of 6 times a year. So you benefit
friendly
patients.
reminders.
They are always
No
friendly.
calls
Yeah.
for 4 months.
So I'm A positive. So if I'm A positive, there's not as big of a demand, but you would take the double if I wanted to do that.
We only take doubles from O-type donors
Oh, okay,
and the
you only
negative
do.
donors,
Okay,
but you're still an A+ donor in my book.
That's
Darn
right.
right, thanks.
I knew
That's
he
why
had,
I haven't done
I knew he had something in common.
There you
I'm
go.
A positive too.
There you go. Yeah, that's one way I can get an A+ out of
That's
something,
right.
My daughter is expecting, and she has negative blood,
Okay.
and so they have to have some kind of
Special
shots and stuff like
tests
that.
to
Does
make
that do the transfusions have anything to do with that? I mean,
Well, I think that while it's really important for us to transfuse the correct type of blood, in a trauma situation, we give O-neg because that's the universal donor.
that'll
So
work for
anyone
everybody.
can take an O-neg
Okay.
unit. I think that our focus, well, I guess the hospital's focus on giving the correct type of blood is similar to, in your daughter's situation, making sure that the baby and the mother's blood types are compatible. Same
yeah.
kind of thing.
yeah.
We don't want the negatives fighting the
No,
positives, so to
attacking
speak.
each other.
Yeah.
That wouldn't do. So, what I know at these the Civil War thing, I remember I went in and they said, who do you want to give for? Is this going to be for the Ducks? Is it going to be for the Beavers? I don't even remember who I decided on last year. I'll have to see if I can figure it out, and then I can do the other one this year. Yeah, but so then at the end, do they tell you who had the most? And do you remember who it was last year?
Yes, the Ducks are currently the reigning champions of the Civil War blood drive from 2013. We also, as an added benefit to our donors, when they cast their ballot for the Ducks or the Beavers, they're also entered into a raffle, and one lucky donor wins a pair of tickets to
the Civil War,
the November 29th, about said blood drive football game.
You get a blood drive, which is in Corvallis this year.
That's right.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, so that's exciting. Another incentive ticket.
Yeah, so yeah.
And our drive, the November 1 drive, What Color Do You Bleed, we actually also ask the donors as they check in, what alumni club or what school do you represent? Because we also keep track, just locally for that one day, of which alumni club gives the most. And our reigning champ is Auburn. As I said, they're very, very supportive of us. And McAdams provides a gift card for the top 2 schools or top 2 clubs that provide the most donors that day. And we also give a gift card to one donor drawn at random.
So the gift card for the club, is that going to be just like one that the whole group can share? It's like, like come in someday and you can have all these free appetizers.
Bunch of appetizers.
Exactly. And
that's fun.
It's a nice incentive.
You have meetings there anyway, right? So
yeah, most of the alumni clubs, we have 20 that are involved, and all of them use McAdams as a place to go to watch sports, because it's a really good place.
Check it out. That sounds great. So obviously getting involved with an alumni club is a great idea, and it's a good way to be involved and do some community service and connect with some fellow sports fans or not sports fans.
Or not sports fans.
What aspect of it you're interested in.
And it's an important vehicle for people moving to town.
Good place to connect.
It's a little bit better now, but when I was president of our club a few years ago, I would get emails from graduating students. We start getting them in about end of March, beginning of April, saying, I'm graduating in May and I want to move to Portland. And my response back always is, and tell me you have a job when you get here. And normally the answer is no. Okay. Now, the economy has improved a little bit in the last couple of years, so there are more occupational opportunities. But a good place, regardless of your school affiliation, is your local alumni club, because it's a group of like-minded folks who have something in common, many of whom are already established in their careers and in their places of work and may know about openings.
Place to network.
It is. It's a tremendous way to
I would
network.
not have thought about that.
Yeah.
That's a great opportunity. Okay, we're almost out of time. Elizabeth, any last words about the American Red Cross and the blood drives that we should know?
I would just say, we're excited about the Civil War drives. We're really excited about What Color Do You Bleed. In general, just please remember that there's a need every day. We do try to get people engaged with making fun opportunities like this. We're so grateful to the owner of, what's her name?
Tally Steele.
Tally Steele at
Owner of
McAdams.
McAdams.
It's so generous when people donate not only their time and their location, but also gift certificates, anything we can use to kind of hook donors in.
Yeah, and the Red Cross is really great about doing that little things here and there that you might get, today you can get this.
Yes,
like,
actually,
cool.
Our donors that day are getting T-shirts from the Red Cross.
Nice.
So there you go.
Nice, great.
Little added bonus.
Cool. Well, thank you both very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
And do check out the American Red Cross. They do make it very easy to donate your blood, your time, and you can check out and root for your favorite Civil War team, the Oregon Ducks or the Oregon State Beavers, or Syracuse or whatever other school you're from. Do check it out, and I hope that you'll support the American Red Cross every day. I'm Monica Weitzel. Thanks for joining us this week on Community Hotline. We'll see you next week.